I used to work part-time as a wilderness surveyor for a logging company in northern Washington state. It wasn't glamorous, mostly marking trees, mapping terrain, and double-checking equipment placement for upcoming projects. But the solitude suited me. This happened in late October 2022. I was doing a solo recon near the edge of state-owned forest land, the kind of area that's thick with pine, no phone signal, and not officially on any marked hiking trail. The air gets so quiet there it feels like sound itself is afraid to move. That day, I'd parked my truck at a service access gate and hiked about 4 miles in. Around 3:30 p.m., I reached the valley edge, a kind of long, natural bowl surrounded by steep ridges. I made a few GPS notes, snapped pictures for the team, and was just starting to head back when I heard it. A sound like an owl, but wrong. Too deep, too slow, like someone was imitating an owl but hadn't quite gotten the tone right. And it didn't echo, just dropped. I stopped and listened. It came again, closer. Who? Who? Normally I'd brush that off. Probably an elk or wind whistling weird through the trees, but I don't know how to explain this. The moment I heard it, my stomach dropped. Every hair on my body lifted. I suddenly felt like I was being watched by something very, very intelligent. I turned around and took a step, and then the sound came from the other direction. That's when I realized it was circling me. I didn't run. Not yet. You don't run in the forest unless you know exactly where you're going. That's how people get lost, or worse, get hurt and can't get back. Instead, I pulled my radio from my pack, clicked the mic. Static. I changed the frequency. More static. Dead channel. The light was dimming faster than it should. That's what stood out next. I checked my watch. 4:11 p.m. It shouldn't have been this dark. But it was like the trees had thickened, like shadows were being pulled tighter together, pulled inward. Another who, but this time right above me. I looked up. Nothing, but every instinct screamed. I started moving. Not running, just steady, quick strides. I followed my GPS path back, but it felt off, like I was walking farther than I should have been. And then the trail just wasn't there. There had been a break in the trees before, a marker I'd left, a scratched X in the bark. Gone. I circled back. Nothing. I told myself I'd misread the terrain, but something deeper than logic knew better. The forest was different now, subtly wrong. Every tree looked familiar, but not identical, like someone had copied the forest from memory and gotten it just a little wrong. Then I heard breathing. Not mine, not animal, human, raspy, dry, like someone who hadn't had water in days. It was right behind me. I turned, nothing there, but the breath continued, just behind my ear. I spun around and yelled, "Who's there?" Only the trees answered. My own voice felt like a violation in that space. I knew I couldn't stay still. I started walking again, trying to calm my breathing, trying not to look over my shoulder every 5 seconds. But the feeling that something was tracking me, not following, tracking, didn't fade. It got stronger. I don't know how long I walked. Maybe an hour, maybe more. The light stayed dim like dusk frozen in place. Then I saw it. A lean-to shelter. Roughly built, a little crooked but definitely man-made. Logs stacked, branches angled. Someone had been here. Relief hit me. Maybe I wasn't alone. I approached cautiously. "Hello?" I called. "Anyone here?" Silence. I stepped inside. The inside of the lean-to had old gear, a shredded sleeping bag, rusted canteen, torn pack. None of it looked fresh, but something about the way it was arranged didn't sit right, like it had been posed, staged. Then I saw the photos. Pinned with nails to the inside wall were Polaroids. Dozens of them. Each one showed someone in the woods. At first I thought they were wildlife shots, but then I looked closer. The people were looking straight at the camera. Some looked confused, others terrified. Then I saw one that made my knees buckle. It was me, taken from about 20 feet away. I was standing at the edge of the same valley earlier that day, holding my GPS. I hadn't seen anyone else, but someone, or something, had seen me. I grabbed the photo and stumbled out of the lean-to. The sound came again, not an owl anymore. A rasping whisper. "Stay." I froze. It wasn't just a voice. It was like something was inside my thoughts, twisting around my fear, using it like a megaphone. I ran. I don't know how I found my way back to the ridge or how long I ran. Minutes, hours, I don't remember the path. I only remember the light suddenly changing, like the forest finally let go. I burst into the clearing where I'd parked, lungs on fire, my legs giving out beneath me. My truck was still there, unlocked. I didn't stop to think. I threw myself inside and started the engine. The headlights caught the edge of the woods just as something stepped back into the trees. Tall, thin, bent backwards at the knees. I drove until I hit the nearest highway and didn't stop until I reached a ranger station 20 miles away. I told them I'd gotten lost, saw signs of other people, maybe illegal campers. I didn't mention the photos. When I went back a week later with 2 co-workers, we couldn't find the lean-to. But that valley? It was there. Same spot, same view, only this time it felt empty. Too empty. I've never worked alone in those woods again. And sometimes, late at night, I still hear it. Not quite a voice, not quite an animal, calling from just behind the trees. Stay. I wish I could say it ended there, that the forest stayed behind me. But 2 weeks after that day, I noticed something strange. It started with my dog, Jasper. He stopped sleeping in his bed and began staring at the back door every night, growling low in his throat. At first I thought it was raccoons, maybe a fox, but when I checked the security camera, I saw nothing except the timestamp skipped. 3 minutes gone, just blank static. Like something had walked through and the system couldn't comprehend it. Then I started hearing it again, at night, just outside the window, even though I live in a suburban neighborhood. That same guttural fake owl call, hoo. It came at exactly 3:33 a.m., 3 nights in a row. The 4th night, the call came from the hallway, inside the house. I didn't sleep. I sat with a kitchen knife in one hand and a flashlight in the other, waiting for something to show itself. Nothing did. Not then. But the next morning, on my front lawn, was a single Polaroid. Me, sleeping. The photo had been taken through my bedroom window. Now every night I check all my locks twice. I shut every curtain. I leave a light on in every room, but sometimes, when everything's quiet, too quiet, I still hear it. Calling, waiting, getting closer. One day I think I might answer it. Stay.